So I want to learn how to play the sax. And this gentleman is a sax player. He has offered to show me how it works. Now, I've never played it, but there's always a will. So he's gonna set up, then we're gonna see how he plays it. Okay, wait a minute. So there is the fingers. You have to know you are not even looking at it, man.
Oh yeah.
You already know it. So can you play? That was like a tune, jazz or something that I don't know. Can you play any Christmas thing, just or a happy birthday or whatever, something that I can sing along? I want to see how I'm going to start to find those notes that are very basic. Man, that's amazing. So I just have to learn the notes, right? But of course there is the technique of the mouth, and then but this hand will not have to go down there. This one takes care of the top.
That's the easy thing about sax and like woodwinds. They stay where they are. I mean, you might have to do a little this, and as far as like these fingers in the front, you got to keep your hand off of these while you're playing these.
While you're playing those.
Yeah, so your hand is like in a cup.
But do you ever use these?
Yeah.
I mean, no. How are you remembering where everything is? Especially when you're playing.
Everything stays where it's supposed to be. Like, I mean.
You have a lot of patterns when you're playing instruments. The patterns help stick a lot of the keys in terms of.
Yeah, like the first thing I played for you was just thirds. It's a pattern. Which pretty much stays on the front of the horn.
How long did it take you to play from when you started?
I mean, like I said, doing it every day and like really making sure like that instrument is
in and out.
Yeah, I played my instrument like when I first started. I remember playing every day, and like it only took me about a year to get fully control of the horn. And then after that, it was just learning like how I think about the playing, because like if you call out a note, I could probably be like, oh, that sounds like this note on my horn, so it's probably that note. Like I know how I just know how that note sounds on my horn, because I've been playing that note on my horn for so long. If that makes sense.
Man, you've been very helpful. So now I'm just gonna tell my wife I'm gonna quit the one string instrument, and now I'm gonna come to this one and this one here.
I mean, I'm always happy to put another sax player in the world.
You might have just put one already, because I thought it was easier than it looks. I thought it was just the mouth and you just tap in one or two.
This is the easiest part. You can like. You can make a noise on this thing at any angle. I can play it the wrong way and still get a good sound.
So as long as I'll be able to get a sound out of this, then the sound will come there.
But now, the only hard thing about playing saxophone is getting a good tone. I can get like a bad tone out of this thing real quick, but it's just like getting the sweetness out of that everybody expects from a saxophone.
The tone and
that's the hardest thing.
What about rhythm? You still have to, if you're playing with a band or you're playing with somebody, you still have to keep rhythm. You still have to listen.
Yeah, I guess that would be the only thing. Your rhythm is in your tonguing and fingers.
And brain.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
because
with everybody, though.
yeah, because you got to know when to come in.
Yeah.
If you don't know when to come in, you'll probably play the right thing, but at the wrong time, right?
That happens too. But I mean that's with everybody though. When you play a string instrument or a horn, as far as like a horn instrument.
Well, that's with everybody, but that's the biggest problem with me.
Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Sometimes you can learn to play, but then knowing when to come in or knowing how to keep up, because you might concentrate so much on it, concentrate on you're doing right, but everybody tells you, man, the train left you because you are not with the rhythm. And
I mean, you got a metronome? You got a metronome? I've been practicing with
much. Yeah, I bought a metronome.
I've been practicing with one of those since I started.
Since you started, you got to stay with the metronome? Okay.
And at that point, you just doing it mindlessly every day. You just learn if a song comes on, you can be like, oh, that's 60 BPM roughly, because you know what 60 or in that range of being 60 BPM sounds like. It's a ballad. So,
man, you've been so helpful. So for the price really doesn't matter, but you say it's about what's the sticker price there? 33,700. Man, if I can play it, that's very little money.
I mean,
If I can learn to play it.
The nice thing about playing a horn is this matters more than this.
Really?
The mouthpiece matters a lot more than the actual horn. Even some of the greats, I don't know if you know Charlie Parker on alto saxophone. He basically started bebop jazz, that with a couple of other people. But he pawned out his horn. He had student horns and whatnot, pawned out his horns. It was the whole beginning jazz. He traded his horn, had a bad horn for his whole time, but he kept a good mouthpiece. Good mouthpiece, good reed combination with a good ligature. That matters as far as like the whole tone.
The whole tone and everything. So I see you came out with a piece that side, and this was here. When you buy this, they sell you this, or they sell you with the piece?
If you buy a saxophone, you might get a mouthpiece with it, but if you do, it's probably not a good mouthpiece. It's probably like a decent.
Okay, so you just got to buy a good, decent mouthpiece separately.
Yeah, which you should want to do anyway, because a mouthpiece can change your whole tone. I could sound like a sweet, subtle jazz saxophone player, and then switch on a metal mouthpiece and sound like I'm a guitar player playing rock.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this last stupid question. Once you hear sax, you just hear jazz.
Kind of. I'm an all-around player.
Is sax only played with jazz, or can sax just be played for?
No, there's rock sax, there's jazz sax, there's hip hop.
Okay.
Sax, R&B.
So when I get it and I'm my own person, just like everybody has their own DNA. If I get it and I get my own tune, it can play what I want it to play.
That's that thing where I was talking about. If you're just playing your horn every day, you can just end up playing to what you're thinking. Which I'm not too far there yet. I can just do individual notes.
Man, I'm gonna come for it one of these days.
Yeah, this is a solid horn.
Yeah, will you be available to teach me?
Not at the moment. I'm in my last year of college.
College.
Yeah.
Then you leave. What's your name, by the way?
Ellis.
Ellis. Okay, my name is Dan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. You did great, and you've sold me. And now I'm just gonna have to talk to.
But like I said, you don't even need this is a pro level horn in most people's eyes by the manufacturer. But I can play on this horn for you, and then go get one of our student horns that isn't even worked up with the same mouthpiece, and it'll sound pretty similar because it's about my tone rather than the horn.
But they say that's tenor, that's alto, that's like soprano.
That's the straight soprano, yeah.
Okay, but so. They will always, and a tenor one will always be this size.
Yes.
And then this alto will always be that size. Okay.
And then the fourth common one you'll see is the Barry, which is the next size up from this one.
Yeah, that's too big. That's big one. Yeah, that's too big. I like this one because.
I like this one too.
Because I used to sing tenor, so.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't grow into it like I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
Still looks big on me, but I grew into it enough. When I first started, I couldn't reach this key.
Oh yeah.
My pinky was like too small, but my hands grew and I stayed this height.
So every key in there is gonna be needed.
Yeah.
Is needed.
Yeah. And then once you get like really good with like the normal stuff, you get into like extensive fingerings and whatnot.
See this guy. This is what I have to get, and I have to be good at. Anyway, thanks so much, man.